All right. So 3x squared minus 5x squared, wait, 3x to the third actually, minus 5x squared minus 2 divided by x minus 1. Now, maybe a veteran student in here can kind of intimate why I call this one on steroids. Why would this be a problem on steroids? What's going on here?
Missing a place.
It's missing a place. Thank you, veteran student. Notice how the exponents go descending, go down from 3 to 2, but there's no x to the first power. If there's no x to the first power, that'll jack up all of our synthetic division, and the process will not go smoothly. So what I want to do is I'm going to rewrite the whole problem. I'm going to put a placeholder for x to the first power. Watch this. Write it with me. 3x to the third minus 5x squared. Watch this now. Plus 0x. I'm just putting it there as a placeholder because that allows the synthetic division to go smooth. And there's no hiccups, in other words. Minus 2. So on your warm-up, going to write placeholder. You got to put a placeholder if there's one missing. If there's a term missing with a variable, you got to get that placeholder in there, and it's going to get all jacked up, right, Medina? Here's our divisor, x minus 1. Questions so far? Here we go. Synthetic division time. We'll make the brace. Coefficients are 3, -5, a 0, and a -2. Notice that. K value is 1. Beautiful. Moving on along. Let's start the process. Here we go. We bring down the 3 first. 1 times 3 becomes 3. Add now. -5 plus a 3. -2. Careful there. And now start the process again. 1 times a -2. -2. Add the coefficients. 0 plus a -2 is another -2. Start the process again. 1 times a -2. -2. Add those. What's -2 plus -2? -4. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a 0. That means this is a remainder. This is a remainder. I'll put R for a remainder. We know what to do with remainders. I already taught you what to do with the remainders. Remember, that becomes the numerator of the fraction. And what's the denominator again? You guys remember what the denominator becomes? Right, it becomes the divisor. Nice. So here's our answer. Here we go. The highest exponent of the dividend was 3. That means there's going to be a 3x squared here from my final quotient. And then I'm going to go descending just downward now. 3x squared minus 2x minus 2 plus a -4 over the divisor. Let me write it more professionally because it's looking kind of schweck now. Here we go. Our final quotient is 3x squared minus 2x plus 2. Watch this now. Minus 4 over the divisor was x minus 1. Here's our quotient. There it is. Right, that's your final answer there. Some of you, I noticed on assignment 15 or 16, are putting the remainder. You're not putting anything in between the last term and the remainder that looks funky and weird. You can't just put the remainder next to the number. Right, and we're going to do that right now. That's exactly what I'm putting. I'm going to put a minus. This is what it's supposed to be, exactly, Mendoza. You're right.
Yeah,
Good looking out. My coffee hasn't kicked in. I need my lunch afternoon coffee. The Q? Okay. Why is it x squared? Because that's just the nature of division, huh? If we're going to do the long division, think about what we did the long way, the normal way. X goes in 3x squared how many times? 3x squared, huh? 3x squared times, yeah? Right? That would be the first term. Because look, it's got to be less than the first one. Am I making sense? That's why at the end it's a 3x squared. It's just the nature of the division. Good question. Very good question. I don't think you guys realize how happy it makes a teacher feel when you guys ask intelligent questions based on the content that's being taught. I don't think you realize that. No joke. You guys underestimate the power you guys have over teachers. You guys can make a teacher's day or destroy it based on the questions you ask. You guys, in other words, you guys have a lot of power. What do you think? Maybe I shouldn't have told you that.
Thanks.
Here you go. Last example. Last example, and I'll let you guys go for the rest of the period to finish your tree map and then study for tomorrow's quiz to ace it. Here we go. Number 3. This one's going to have more steroids. You guys like steroids? You guys are all giggly. You guys are all giggly about those 4x to the third. You have steroids? That helps the math. He takes them. You can handle these. Some heavy lifting. Oops. Minus 35. And then we got the x plus 5. Last one. Right, remember? You with me? Last one for the day. First thing you want to ask yourself, do we need any placeholders in the dividend?
Yeah.
Yep. There's a 4, 3, we need a 0x squared to the second power. So here we go. Let me go right to the synthetic division, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
Wait, but don't you have to do the x plus 5 just to fix it up too?
The k value?
Yeah.
I love that's where I was going to go next. You could do that first too. I love it. Thank you. He's already thinking of the k value. Remember, x minus k. We don't have a minus, so we have to tweak this to make it look like a minus. This will be an x minus a negative 5, so our k value is a negative 5. Please remember that. Good, Ramirez. That'll be on the quiz tomorrow. I'll throw a little curveball. Make sure you know that the k value is a negative 5 here. You will see that tomorrow. I'm telling you ahead of time, so you won't be surprised. Here we go. I'll put the k value, since Ramirez brought it up. Nice. Now let's put the coefficients. I got a 1 coefficient there, a 4. No x squared term, so I'm going to put a 0 for the x squared coefficient. I got a 16. I got a minus 35. We're ready to rock and roll. We're ready. We're ready. Excuse me. All right. Okay. Ready to go, Chuck?
No.
I'm getting a little sick. I can hear it. Sorry. Here we go. We'll bring down the 1. Here we go. Multiply. I got a negative 5 here. Add. I got a negative 1 there. Multiply. I got a positive 5. Add. I got a positive 5. Multiply. Notice it's just multiplying and adding. That's the whole thing. Multiplying and adding. Easy. Multiply. I got a negative 25. Add. I got a negative something. I'm bad with mental math, I'm telling you. Sounds good to me. Multiply, positive 45. Add. I want to say a positive 10 if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. Here we go. Now for the x's, the variables. I need an x to the third power and 1 less than the dividend. So here we go. 1x to the third minus 1x squared. Look at that. This is a positive 5, so I'm going to put a plus 5x minus 9. I got a remainder. So let me write it professionally now. Look at when I write it professionally. I don't put ones coefficients. I leave them blank because the one's automatically there. We're professionals in here. So look at my final quotient. X to the third minus x squared. Notice that. Plus 5x minus 9. Is that a positive 10 or a negative 10? Positive, look what I'm going to do. Plus 10 numerator over divisor. The divisor was x plus 5. We're rocking and rolling. You're going to ace this puppy tomorrow. You can feel it.